So basically, I uploaded a video in 3 shorts, and then I called it a day. I called it 4 months. That's what I called it. Sorry, I haven't really uploaded at all. I've been a busy bee. I've been a busy little boy, busy little guy. But I've been itching to record a video. I've been wanting to, and so here it is. Here it is, a Satisfactory video instead of a Fortnite video. And just a disclaimer, I did have to voice over this whole video because my mic decided not to record when I was recording this whole thing. So, well, enjoy. All right, so first things first, I'm gonna need to find a place to put the hub, and I'm also gonna go and grab these nuts. So I did end up finding a pretty good place for the hub. It's a really flat area with 4 iron nodes, a copper node, and then 2 limestone nodes. The copper node is impure, but there's 2 more copper nodes that aren't too far away. It was also kind of a journey to get over here. I had a little run-in with the local wildlife. They didn't seem too happy about my presence here. That might be due to the fact that I'm going to be building a giant Walmart where their habitat is, but I also found these loose slugs and a purple orb just kind of chilling. I also collected a lot of nuts along the way, which was fantastic. So now that I found a good place for the hub, I'm going to have to start mining resources, starting with these iron nodes. I'm going to need to place some miners on top of them. And then I'll get power from the back of the hub from the biofuel generators, which I will hook up to the miners. Now, these generators don't produce a lot of output, but for right now, it's just going to be enough to get some of these iron nodes started. In this video, I am going to need to make a whole array of them in order to power everything that I need. Now I just need to collect some of these leaves for the biofuel generators. It's going to take a lot, but once I can unlock the chainsaw, it's going to go a lot quicker. I am going to get this limestone generator started early so I can start getting concrete, because I'm going to need a lot of concrete for the base that I'm going to make. And I also got these iron generators for iron plates. And also I'm setting up the other one for iron rods, because I'm going to need a lot of iron rods as well. And that also reminded me that I need to get the copper generation started as soon as possible, because I'm going to need a lot of cables and also wire. Cables are very useful for all connecting anything, as well as constructors need quite a bit of them. So I'm just going to set this impure node up here just to make wires. I can make cables later. Cables are pretty quick to make in the crafting table, so I'm not too worried about it. And getting this set up, it's going to produce way more than I need for right now. And since this limestone is pretty close to the copper over there, I'm also just going to set up more concrete generation real quick, because the platform that I'm going to make is going to need at least 6 or 7 stacks of concrete, probably more. I did also realize I'm getting close to the max amount of wattage that I can actually use. So I'm going to upgrade this next one so I can get these splitters in order to maximize my biofuel efficiency, and also maximize everything else as well. And while I'm right here as well, I'm going to make the iron rods a little more efficient by splitting them up into 2 different factories, so 2 different constructors. So I'm going to need to split it into 2 different smelters, which will also go into the 2 constructors, and then they'll merge back together into 1 storage area. I'm also going to do this with the iron plates as well. I'm just kind of buying time so I can get my next upgrade so I can actually start the base building. Which I did buy myself enough time. I got enough for the upgrade, which is going to unlock everything right now that I'm going to need for base building, such as like the foundations and also the ramps. I'll mainly just be using the 4-meter ones. I also went ahead and did this with the copper as well, so it's making twice as much wire. That's the max amount for an impure node that it actually can make. Now what I need to go and do is unlock the obstacle clearing milestone so I can get the chainsaw, and that also unlocks biofuel, which is going to be essential for all the generators that I'm going to have to build. I also need to start making screws because these are painful. This is on 10 times speed right now. It took me forever to make all these screws and these cables. But we got enough to get the upgrade, and now I'm going to have to go and start chopping stuff down so I can get all the biofuel that I need. The next unlock that I'm going to go for is field research, because I'm going to need the MAM in order to get mycelia. so I can actually use my silo to make biofuel. I can't do it otherwise, and I can also use this for power shards, which is going to be very useful. And I, of course, need 300 more screws to make this, so I have to do that all by hand again because I don't have anything for it right now. But on the bright side, I do have the chainsaw. And now it's time to start destroying the environment. I'd say I did a pretty good job on this. There's nothing left. Now, while I was destroying the whole environment, I did have a constructor making me screws, so I don't have to do any of it by hand, because I was kind of tired of doing that. And that did get me enough to unlock the MAM. Now that I have the MAM, I can research the mycelia, so I can turn that into biofuel, and that'll make my biofuel generators a lot more efficient, and it can generate a lot more biofuel than wood or leaves can. I went up to where I was mining the copper. This is the area that I'm going to make the biofuel generators at, and I just need to clear out this whole area. Now that it's all cleared out, I'm going to start placing down these foundations. And I'm going to need a pretty big area for it, and I made sure to put this on the world grid as well so I can connect it with any other builds later on. So essentially how this will work is it's going to take all the leaves from a storage container, go into 4 different constructors, one making biomass into biofuel, and then it's going to separate into 3 different biofuel generators, which will generate me a decent amount of power. Now all I need to do is jump to start the system, so to get it working, I put all the leaves in there as well, so that's going to be going by itself now. And it did generate me a decent amount, not a whole lot. I think it gave me around 90 more watts than what I had. All I had to do was flip the breaker, but 90 watts isn't going to do much, so I need to make more. So basically I just quadrupled it. I needed a lot more power. I'm not going to have to worry about it for a while now. So now I have about 500 watts to work with. Now that the power's done, I need to start making the base, and there has been a lot of concrete generation since I did that. Now essentially I'm just gonna start making a huge platform. So I did make a pretty big area for our base, but I forgot to put it on the world grid, so it's going to be uneven with everything else that I build in the world. So now I'm going to have to deconstruct everything and start from the very beginning. I took a little break from making the giant foundation and made a little spot for both of the limestone miners as well as the copper one. So they're all on foundations now and they're all even with each other. I did also make it as efficient as I possibly could right now. I am waiting on Mark II conveyor belts so I can make it even more efficient. Now I decided to actually start on the foundations again. I give it a little rest after I had to deconstruct literally everything, but I made sure that it was actually on the border this time so I didn't have to run into that problem again. And since I was next to the iron vein, I made the smelter as efficient as possible into about 4 constructors, all making iron plates, so I'm going to have a lot of iron plates. Now I'm also going to actually finish the rest of this foundation and spread it across this flat area as much as I possibly can. I'm also going to make sure to put ramps around this whole thing, because right now I have no means of actually being able to get up. I also forgot that I can power this now, so I'm going to get the hard drive out of this, and I'm going to get the screw upgrades, so it's going to be a lot easier to make screws than the original recipe. And the scan of the hard drive is complete, and I did end up getting the cast screws, which is going to make production so much more efficient when it comes to screws, because those are a pain to make, even late game. And I still had that other iron vein to mine, so I took it and I split it in between like 6 different constructors so I can make cast screws and also iron rods as well. Alright, so now all I have to do is just finish up this side area right here, finish putting in all the ramps. Next episode, I'm going to be doing a lot of the stuff with the MAM and also those 2 iron veins over there and also some more copper veins. There's going to be a lot, maybe some more mycelia generator as well. Get that going so I can have at least like 1,000 watts of power just sitting there for biofuel. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I know it was kind of different because of my mic being messed up, so you didn't have any of that like live audio, and I had to do voiceovers for the whole thing, which kind of sucked. But I know in the next one that'll be fixed. I hope to see you guys again in the next Satisfactory video. Later.